Good morning, students. Hello and welcome to Avyan IAS Academy. Today we'll be taking up one more part from our grammar lessons, which are transformation of sentences. Here, there can be a number of transformation of sentences which we can take up. That is, a transformation between active, passive, simple, complex, compound, or from affirmative to negative. A number of transformation can happen in a sentence. We can also just change simply the degree of adjectives. That is also known as a transformation of sentences. However, here the transformation that we are taking up is from simple to compound. The simple to compound translation of sentences. First, let me tell you that there are three kinds of sentences regarding this. There can be a simple sentence, there can be a compound sentence, and there can be a complex sentence. For today, we'll just deal with the simple and the compound sentences and their transformation. A simple sentence is a one in which there is just one subject and one predicate. For example, it is raining. In this sentence, it is the subject and is raining is the predicate. So there is just one subject and one predicate. That is one action. There's just one action which is happening in this sentence. Hence, this is a simple sentence. But a compound sentence, as also the name suggests, is a little more difficult than that, where we'll talk about when the two parts of the sentence is joined by a coordinating conjunction, which means whenever a sentence, we usually use a lot of compound sentences while we are writing or speaking. However, maybe we do not know the fact that we are using a compound sentence. So, example of a compound sentence would be, it was raining and she got wet. So in this sentence, it is joined by a coordinating conjunction. So this word and is joining the two parts of the sentence, and the sentence certainly does not have one. There are two. There's a principal clause and there's a subordinate clause. That is, this is a subordinate clause and this is the principal clause. So a subordinate clause is the one which is dependent on the principal clause. For example, the easier way of understanding is this, that she got wet because it was raining. Hence, her getting wet is dependent on the principal action of the rain. So that makes it simply the principal clause. In a compound sentence, we'll always have both these, and also these two will be a principal clause and a subordinate clause will be joined by a conjunction. So that is in the long and short of a simple and a compound sentence. However, we need to know that just as the name simple sentence suggests, writing a simple sentence is not just as easy. It is probably more difficult than making a compound sentence or even a complex sentence. So today, since we are not dealing with the complex sentence, we'll be dealing with the complex sentence in our next lecture. However, here we need to know that in a simple sentence, we cannot use any sort of conjunctions, any joining words. What we have to do is we have to make the best utility of our constructions, like using a participles. We can use gerunds, or we can use punctuation marks properly. So in order to make a sentence, keep a sentence as a simple sentence. Just as I say that the name suggests it's simple, but probably writing simple sentences are the hardest of the task, because once we are allowed to use a conjunction we can just join any two things with and, thus, henceforth. These are words which we can use and join it. But remember, in simple sentences, we are not allowed to use any of this. The moment we use this can become either a compound or a complex sentence. So now I'll give you a few examples and show how we can transform a simple sentence into compound and vice versa. For example, in a simple sentence, if it says, he must work very hard for the lost time. So in this sentence, he is the subject, and and the action that the subject does must work very hard for his lost time is a predicate. As you can see in this sentence, there are no joining words. It is just with the construction that we have used. He must work very hard for the lost time. So if you want to transform this sentence, this is a simple sentence. If you want to transform this into a compound sentence, this same sentence would become as he must work very hard and make up for the lost time. So that's how a compound sentence is made. We have just transformed this, we have just taken this sentence and transformed this into a compound sentence by using a coordinating conjunction in between, that is and, that he has lost his time and hence he should work very hard in order to recover that time. Another sentence which we can take up is to his eternal disgrace, he betrayed his country. Here also there is just one action that is happening, that is to his eternal disgrace he betrayed his country. That is, it was very disgraceful of the subject to betray his own country. However, there are no coordinating conjunctions, there's just one principal clause in the sentence. This transformed as a compound sentence becomes he betrayed his country and that was to his eternal disgrace. Remember that whenever we are transforming the sentences, the meaning of the sentence should not change. Here the meaning remains just the same, but we are just putting one coordinating conjunction in between to join two parts of the sentence. He betrayed his country and that was to the eternal disgrace, and that was to his eternal disgrace. There are two parts in the sentence. That is, he betrayed his country and that makes him very disgraceful, which is joined by this coordinating conjunction and. Hence there is a principal clause, that is betraying his country, and since he betrays his country, he is of eternal disgrace. He is someone who is disgraceful. Hence that is a subordinate or the dependent clause, and betraying his country is the principal or the primary clause. We can take one more example which says, the disobedient boy was punished by the teacher. If this sentence gets transformed into a compound sentence, it becomes, the boy was disobedient and hence or so punished, hence so or therefore anything, punished by the teacher. So here again, there's this action that the disobedient boy, which is a subject, was punished by the teacher, which remains as a predicate. So there is just one single subject. This is a subject, and being punished by the teacher remains the subject, and the boy being punished is the object. That is the act. The teacher is a doer of the action, and the boy is being punished. However, when we transform this sentence as a compound sentence, it turns up as The boy was disobedient and hence so of therefore. We can use, just because I had used just examples of and, this is something we are doing with a different example. We can use any coordinating conjunction like hence, so, therefore, any of those which can join this sentence, and we can transform this as the boy was disobedient and hence was punished by the teacher. So this is how we can try and transform sentences from simple to compound. So now I'll give you few exercise which you can try and do by yourself, while and do let us know about it from the comments. Do write those in the comments below if you all have any further doubt for clarification. But before we go over to the exercise, let us quickly do the a quick recap of what we did right now. So as I said that the transformation of sentences can be of various kind of types. It can be from assertive to negative. That is, assertive is saying something yes and negative is saying a no. We can do transformation between interrogative and assertive. That is a question to a that is doing saying a question and making that into a statement. We can also have transformations between active and passive, direct and indirect, as we have done in our previous video lectures. Here today we were specifically taking the transformation of the sentence between the simple and the compound sentence. So what does a simple sentence mean? A simple sentence means which is just one principal action happening in the sentence, which is like there is one subject and there is one predicate. So, and there is no coordinating conjunction or any joining word in the sentence. And a compound sentence is one which is joined by a coordinating conjunction like and, so, therefore, henceforth, nevertheless, any of these. So as I showed you these examples, you can try and do it by yourself. Hearing the footstep of the father, comma, the children ran away. So this is a simple sentence which we will have to transform into a compound sentence. Here using the word hearing is like we are using the subject verb. That is, this is another way of writing a simple sentence. As I told you, you can either use a gerund or you can use a participle. So here we are using a gerund in order to make this a simple sentence. Another sentence, he was rejected owing to his ill health. In spite of all my warnings, he did the foolish action. These are the three transformations which we will do from simple to compound. However, we can also try it the other way around and write the compound from the compound to the simple. So compound to simple sentences, you can try doing this. For example, this must not happen again, or you will be dismissed. We can try one more sentence. He is rich, yet not contented. So in these three sentences, in the first three sentences, which you have to convert from simple to compound, you will be using a compound. You will be using a coordinating conjunction in order to join the parts of the sentence. However, this is just the opposite of it, where the compound sentence gets transformed into simple sentences. So here we will have to take away this coordinating conjunctions like or, yet, and make them into simple sentences. So you can just try writing these answers and let them be in the comments below, and also write your questions and queries whichever you have about this, about the transformation of the sentences. So that's all for today, and stay tuned for the next part of our same series, which will be the conversion between the simple to the complex sentences and vice versa. Thank you. That's all for today.